BoDean 52 hour, folks. Before you decide to buy an old bike like this 2000 Road King Classic, you better watch this video first. So the 2023 motorcycles are out. What does everybody think about them? Man, I'll tell you what, I do like some of the colors. There is some stuff I like about them. Other stuff, right? But you're always going to find people that love them or hate them. I'm probably one of those guys that are in the middle. Some of the anniversary stuff that people have bought, like the new Road Glide anniversary model. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, Ty from Tennessee, just bought one and he's riding it like crazy. Matter of fact, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Not only is he a good friend of myself, but 4 or 5 real close buddies, and just a super good guy. His channel is going crazy. It's because he's good, got and has great content, and so go check him out. But, and he did a video actually on this, on how much it cost for the bike. And I was thinking about, man, when you get an older bike like this, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. And there is a lot of stuff that can go wrong when you have an older motorcycle. And we've talked about this before about, hey, can you work on your own motorcycle? Do you have that ability? So maybe it's a little bit easier to get something to use so you can work on it if you have a problem. Or, you know, hey, it doesn't matter, I'll just take it in somewhere, find a mechanic. Or, you know, so a lot of reasons, pro and con, to getting a new bike. You know it's yours if you've had it the whole time. You know, all of that stuff that we all know. And on reasons that sometimes even buying a used bike can be a little shot in the dark. And obviously, if you know how to check the bike out and have a pretty good idea of its history, ideally if you happen to know the owner or can kind of hear the story about what's happened with the bike, check it out yourself. You know, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about those things to look at a used bike, so I won't go through those because those folks do it a lot better than I do. But at the end of the day, getting it checked out by yourself and or a mechanic probably is wise. So I started this, which is you really should watch this video before buying a used older bike. And here's why I say that. Right now, you know, there's that whole buzz about the new bikes that have come out. It's always fun, it's always exciting, and everybody wants that new gadget, right? It's like iPhones or Androids or whatever your pleasure is. And when a new one comes out every couple years, now some people go, dude, I'm using my old one. Or, yeah, I got to get that new one. I got to get that new one. I got to get that new one. I don't care how much it costs. I think people are like that with motorcycles too. And God bless them. If that's what you want to do, and that's your business. I like seeing new motorcycles. I like seeing any motorcycle, so I don't care. But at the end of the day, there is so many advantages to having a bike like this. Whether it's a Harley Davidson, an old Road King, an old Heritage, any older bike. Never been down that road. There's something about it. I don't care if it's, like I said, a Harley or a Honda. You meet the nicest folks on Hondas. Okay, focus, buddy, focus. We're here to talk about older bikes. But getting just an older bike, there's something to be said for that. I don't know whether it's because of how much I love the Road King and had looked for this thing for years before I bought it. Just the iconic look. But I have not had problems with this motorcycle. Now, if you're new to the channel, I know there's the old cam change tensioners and all that stuff that you need to get checked out, right? But at the end of the day, I love this bike. I think when you, and I'll tell you where I did make a mistake. So I did some research on this bike. I really liked it. Found one, finally bought it, and I put a video out, and everybody's like, hey dude, how's the cam tensioners? I'm like, what do you mean the cam tensioners? What are you talking about? Oh man, those go, you're going to ruin your bike. I'm like, oh crap, what did I do? So I took it into a local mechanic, not a Harley dealer, because they don't tend to work on bikes of this age in general. I'm sure there's exceptions. And you know what, I sure am running hot today in these corners. But I probably could have done just a little more research on that stuff, but that wouldn't have even scared me because I like the bike so much. So I think sometimes just doing some research on how those bikes have done may give you that peace of mind, problems people have had. I just took my 2019 Ram 1500 Hemi truck over. Some sort of module that makes the truck run quieter on the chassis or something. And I'm getting this pop-up message all the time. And I take it over to the dealer, and the senior mechanic comes out. He goes, oh, you're getting the old message, are you? This is what it is. We're seeing that on 2019s all the time. And I'm like, okay. So, hey, that's probably good information, right? That I could have learned before. But all the reasons about having an older bike, the nostalgia, the look, the basicness, the price, as many people would say, there's no better bike than the one that you own. And normally you can get into them cheaper, pay cash if you can, all that fun stuff, right? So there's a million reasons to buy an older motorcycle. Now, I have a 2021 Roguei Limited that I bought brand new, so I'm not speaking out of both sides. I have an older one and a newer one. That's just kind of how I like to do it, even though I'm at the point where I plan is to keep both of those motorcycles. And yes, I've said that before. But I will tell you, other than some repairs, maybe a little rough ride because they're a little bit older, there's not one thing I could really say that if you dig deep and you're thinking about it, that would prevent you from buying an older motorcycle. You just got to find the right one. Hope that helps. Duke and I just wanted to talk because he's a little age sensitive. So I got to make sure every now and then that I tell him I love him and share the word, share the gospel. Go get an older motorcycle. I don't think you'll be sorry. Be safe out there, folks. Check in a frown, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Woohoo! Let's go, Duke!